to announce $7.3 billion.
Right now at 5, President Joe Biden stops in Westby to announce a new investment in rural energy.
While his son Hunter Biden plans to change his plea in a tax evasion case.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 5. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. President Joe Biden visiting Westby to announce a major investment in rural electric cooperatives.
News 8 Now's Allison Ferget is live at Vernon Electric Cooperative in Westby, where the president spoke earlier today. Good evening, Allison.
Ken and Emily, as you can see behind me, they are tearing down the scene where earlier today, President Biden gave a speech that brought local leaders to their feet. Biden announcing today $7.3 billion in funding that will be going to rural electric co-ops across the country. And one of the groups getting a slice, Dairyland Power Cooperative. That money will help Dairyland and other co-ops build clean energy infrastructure projects, which Biden says will significantly reduce pollution.
Because of our historic actions, we're going to reduce by 43 million tons greenhouse gas pollution every single year.
Dairyland says not only will this funding help them reach their goal of reducing their greenhouse gas emissions, they'll also be able to reduce prices for their members. The funding will allow them to offset the initial costs of renewable energy projects and also refinance some existing debt on power plants. They estimate that will lower their rates by 42% over the next 10 years. Now, every official that did speak today is very confident a project like this will help rural communities like Westby across the country thrive. Reporting in Westby, Allison Ferget. Ken and Emily, back to you.
All right, thank you, Allison. Of course, Vernon Electric Co-op within the umbrella of Dairyland Power Cooperative, so both of them will be enjoying the new program here. Now, the president's visit does come the same day his son pleads guilty to tax evasion. Hunter Biden in California submitting an Alford plea, which means he essentially maintains innocence but accepts the sentence for a guilty verdict. He's charged with failing to pay more than $1 million in federal taxes in California while living a, quote, extravagant lifestyle. The plea comes right before the case was set to begin jury selection.
Back in Westby, the president's arrival created quite a stir for those living in the city of less than 2,500 people. News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall met with neighbors who live across the street from Vernon Electric Co-op and tells us their reaction to today's visit. Jeremy.
Well, Emily, Vernon Electric Co-op, where the president spoke, is barely a block away from neighborhoods here along the street. Now, many of the middle-class people he spoke about live here, and while plenty of Westby residents aren't Biden or Harris supporters, those I spoke to say in a city this size, it's exciting to have the president of the United States in their backyard. Lori Feller retired from Vernon Electric 2 years ago. When she heard the president would be visiting the facility today, she says she wishes she waited a little longer. She and many of her neighbors lined up along Sogstad Road hoping for a glimpse of the president as his motorcade passed by, and they weren't disappointed. While she says she's excited to have the president in her town today, it's the federal funding efforts making the biggest impact.
I'm excited for the President of the United States to look at what he gave us for our road. I'm excited for the road to get done. Not for it to be continuing here yet, but I'm excited for that.
And now, while Biden is the first president to visit Westby, he isn't the first to pass through the city. George W. Bush drove through Westby while campaigning for his brother Jeb Bush during his 2026 bid for presidency. Reporting in Westby, Jeremy Wall, News 8 Now.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. But not everyone was happy for the president's visit. Wisconsin GOP Chairman Brian Schimming issued a statement before Biden's arrival, saying in part, Joe Biden's return to Wisconsin is the comeback tour that no one wanted. This visit is not a celebration, but a somber reminder that a vote for Harris and Tim Walz this November is a vote for another 4 years of Joe Biden.
Congressman Derek Van Orden and U.S. Senate candidate Eric Hovde also teaming up to talk economics with farmers in Prairie du Chien today.
Both believe Bidenomics have negative impacts on American farmers. Van Orden says excessive regulations and high diesel prices under the Biden administration limit farmers' profits, and that affects the average grocery bill.
Input costs are up, which means that it costs more to put feed in the ground. It costs more to milk these cows, to get the milk to market, and it's hurting our farmers every single day. So when people in the United States are having difficulty filling up a gas tank and a grocery cart on the same day in the United States of America, something's wrong.
Van Orden also calling upon the Senate Agriculture Committee to allow Congress to pass the Farm Bill to support farmers with funding programs and improved crop insurance. Now, Democrats have been staunchly opposed to elements of the version that passed the House committee, which proposes the largest cut in 30 years to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, formerly known as food stamps. The 2018 Farm Bill expires at the end of this month.
Well, a bit of a rainy start to our day today, but not that big of a cool down. It was still quite humid outside, Greg.
We're going to start seeing the cooler air probably more likely tonight into tomorrow, but definitely had that rain come through. Some areas picked up maybe 1/4 of an inch. Some of the areas up to the north picked up a little bit more, but we had the sun come out this afternoon. So we still got up into the 70s, pretty close to where we should be, but that north wind is beginning to pick up. So the moon tunes tonight, if you're out there, you might see a shower come through. Otherwise, that temperature will fall back into the 60s. We'll have that brisk north wind too out there also. For Eau Claire, that wind will also be out there. A few showers potentially this evening. Otherwise, temperatures fall back to the 61 by 10 p.m. Notice that wind out of the north. Big picture shows all that cloud cover associated with daytime heating, and that cooler air begin to push in the area, produces a few showers up to the north, and we'll continue to see that. Temperatures overall still holding in the 70s. The cooler air is still up to the north. To kind of zoom in, some of these cloud and showers will begin to continue throughout the evening hours. So overnight, we're still going to see a shower or two. Most areas will remain dry. Temperatures a little bit cooler, 50s with a few 40s out there. It's just the start of it. Then as we go through Saturday, yeah, it's going to feel more like the middle of October almost with temperatures, and I'll kind of explain what I mean and how long it actually will last too a bit later.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Well, La Crosse's Parks Director is asking the city for $270,000 to cover marsh cleanup and more park security. It's the latest step in a long-developing city homelessness issue that Parks officials are calling a no-win situation. This summer, Common Council expanded the camping ban to include all city-owned property. That was a response to unsheltered individuals living in the La Crosse River Marsh. Last month, park staff and law enforcement recently cleared out the marsh, picking up 44 tons of garbage as they did so. Parks Director Jay Odegaard says they had no choice but to clean the marsh, but the costs tied to it were not part of his department's budget.
You know, our work won't be done here. There's going to be other encampments, and we'll continue to address it. However, none of that is, you know, built into our operating budget. We're faced with doing our job, yet trying to be compassionate at the same time, and we oftentimes find it very difficult to not, you know, get faulted either way we go.
Now, the other part of the funding request will add security to Cameron and Burns parks during the week. This year, the city hired Byerson Specialized Protection Services to monitor those city parks and ramps on the weekends. This request would allow 2 more security guards, one to monitor each park from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday.
We had a approved security contract, but when it was approved, we didn't really have a funding source for it. So part of that is this. If the funding request is not approved, then we will be not doing the security in the parks.
Now, if approved, that security schedule would be in place only through the end of this year. Odegaard says the security is not to keep anyone out of the parks. It's to ensure that anyone coming to the parks is following the rules.
New information emerges in a Georgia school shooting.
What we're learning about the 14-year-old shooter after the break.
Women need to pay close attention
to what Eric Hovde says about access to abortion.
Hovde's all in about opposing reproductive rights.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
And he wanted Roe overturned.
Do you think Roe versus Wade should be overturned?
Yes. So Eric Hovde is okay with politicians overruling decisions of doctors like me.
My patients worry about what Hovde will take away next.
A vote for Eric Hovde means we'll lose even more control over our lives.
Women Vote is responsible for the content of this ad.
Well, that was too close. If we keep waiting, it'll get one of us.
I know these things can be a real hazard, but groundwater does this to concrete all the time.
Water did this.
Mm-hmm. But it's okay. You can lift it back up.
The effects of water can be surprising, but you can. Put water back in its place with a free inspection from Innovative Basement Authority. And now receive no interest on any repairs if paid in full in 24 months. Call or go online today.
Save on Stressless by the truckload at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. Every season, Stressless updates styles and leathers, but first, we need to make room. At Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota, we took advantage of big discounts on discontinued styles, leathers, and overstocks. Now we're passing a truckload of savings on to you. You'll find sofas, love seats, chairs and ottomans, even power recliners, all at amazingly low prices. Don't delay. Quantities are extremely limited. Take advantage of truckload savings on Stressless, only at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota.
I don't trust Derek Van Orden to make decisions around my medical care. Everything was normal up until my ultrasound. I learned my baby would not survive. I did not have the choice to do what was right for me and my family in my home state, and that felt very deeply wrong to me. I am a conservative. I am scared for extremists like Derek Van Orden to be in office.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
New information is emerging about the Georgia teenager who police say opened fire at his high school Wednesday, killing 2 fellow students and 2 teachers and injuring at least 9 others.
The FBI says the suspect had been on their radar. Mark Strassman has the latest from Winder, Georgia.
Students and community members left flowers and comforted one another at a memorial growing like the grief outside Appalachia High School. A shooting by a fellow student Wednesday killed 14-year-old Christian Angulo and Mason Schermerhorn, and teachers Richard Aspinwall and Christina Irami.
He was very sweet and very funny and chill, you know.
Angulo's classmate is mourning the loss of her friend. She said she's also thinking about the suspect.
I just hope that the shooter finds God and that God forgives what they did.
2 school resource officers confronted the suspect and took him into custody. Police say he was armed with an AR platform-style weapon. A chaplain who is aiding law enforcement has a message for parents.
Talk to your children. Be engaged in your children's life. One conversation can change a whole lot. One conversation can cost a whole lot.
Law enforcement says it did pay a visit to suspect Colt Gray and his father in May of 2023, following reports that the then 13-year-old had possibly threatened to shoot up a middle school the next day. After a tip from a user of the social media site Discord, the FBI tracked a troubling account to the Georgia teen. At the time, he denied posting the threats. And his father said he owned guns, but his son did not have access to them. Deputies say they cleared the case because of inconsistent information. The suspect's first court appearance is scheduled for Friday morning. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Winder, Georgia.
During the suspect's interview with the FBI, his father told investigators he and his son moved to a new home following a divorce and eviction.
He also added his son was having troubles at his previous middle school and was, quote, doing better at his new school.
Greg will have your full weather forecast right after this.
We all know costs are too high, but while corporations are gouging families, Trump is focused on giving them tax cuts. But Kamala Harris is focused on you.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll make groceries more affordable by cracking down on price gouging. And she'll cut housing costs by taking on corporate speculators. Middle-class families build America. We need a leader who has their back.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
You just have to get in the seat of a John Deere Gator XUV 835M, not because of the spacious cargo box, or because it can tackle any terrain. Not even because it tows up to 4,000 pounds. You just have to get in the seat because something about being this productive just makes you smile.
Visit Tractor Central, take a seat, and see for yourself why nothing runs like a Deere. Start now at TractorCentral.com.
My feet hurt so bad in the morning, I couldn't even put my feet on the floor. So I had to start engineering my own arch support. So I got that, then I put this in there, This one, finally, before I added another one of these in, I went to Good Feet, and they gave me this. So I built all this together to engineer a solution to my pain. And if I'd have just gone to Good Feet, I'd have been better off in the first place.
Good Feet Arch Supports, engineered for pain relief, personally fitted for you.
Welcome to Wesco. Welcome to huge selection and savings. Who loves a good game of Plinko? Wesco and Sparta is making sure your price is right. Come on in and play a game of Plinko to see what your discount is. Discounts up to 30% off in select departments. What discount will you get? Wesco and Sparta, where white glove delivery and setup are always free. Tell them Peyton sent you.
Looking for a bank that puts you first? Union State Bank is a community-owned bank looking to provide quality products and services to help make your banking easier. We take pride in getting to know our customers and understanding their needs. We are committed to helping you, your family, or your business with all your financial needs. We're here for you and we welcome you to bank with us. Union State Bank, where customers and community come first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Yeah, we're starting to see some of the cooler air come down from Canada here with the front that's now well to the southwest. That's in response to out west. They're starting to heat up. We're going to get the cooler air to the north come down as we kind of zoom in. There's that front that came through with a line of showers and thunderstorms this morning. Kind of really thinned out as you go further southwest of the area. But behind this, the wind's beginning to push down from the north. So we're going to start seeing that cooler air along with another weak little system up here that's going to push south. So this is going to be our pattern at least through Saturday before we start seeing everything kind of shift east. And that means our temperatures will come back up, but probably not till Sunday, and you'll definitely feel it next week. We still got some showers with that next system that's going to dive south. Cooler, especially tomorrow. You'll definitely feel that with the shower and the wind. Chilly Friday night. We'll see some 30s. Not probably seeing some records, but we're going to get probably into the upper 30s for some areas. Some of the coldest spots could see some frost. Just depends on how the skies clear out enough and the winds die down. Cool start Saturday, warmer as you go Sunday. Sunday, we're definitely going to rebound those temperatures back into the 70s. But for tonight, there's going to just be a few showers hit and miss, mainly up to the north, and we'll probably see that off and on throughout the night. We'll see some cloud cover even through 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. There's just some spotty showers. Your Friday morning commute might see a shower or two in certain areas. Won't amount to too much in the way of precipitation wise, but you will see more of that as we go throughout the morning. Then in the afternoon, with a little daytime heating with the sun out, I think you'll start seeing that become a little bit more scattered with the shower coverage. And some of them, you might even see a thunderstorm with some of these coming through in the midday. And then throughout the evening hours, I think between about 2 and 5 is when you're going to start seeing some showers once again, even one over there by La Crosse. The good news for high school football, you'll definitely feel chill out there going in there, but I don't think you'll see a lot of precipitation. We might see a lingering shower for southern areas, but most of the areas by the time we get to 6 or 7 are going to really dry out along with that north wind, and temperatures will fall quickly back into the 50s, even 40s by the time we get done with some of the games as we go throughout the night, especially up north. 46 for Ladysmith as we get towards 10 p.m. So that's going to start feeling the chill going into basically Saturday morning. There's your high temperatures, about a 10-degree drop for most of the areas tomorrow. You'll start feeling it up to the north, barely getting the 60s. Some of the areas to the south may approach 70 with a little bit more sun. But then that cool air right here, you can see with that blue shade right there that's over us through Saturday morning. Notice the temperature there at La Crosse. Out to the west, you start seeing those warm temperatures. That's going to begin to lift north or lift east to the area. So by the time we get to Sunday and even to Monday, we're going to start seeing all the heat out to the west. We're going to get a piece of it about next week. So we're going to see the temperatures warm back up into the 80s, even mid-80s. And this will continue throughout of next week, probably into next weekend. So the cold air is going to get pushed to the north, and we're going to be done with it for now. But you see the temperatures there jumping all the way back up to 78 as we go through Sunday. And then as we go through next week, it's a lot of mid-80s and dry conditions, and that's probably the other theme of the forecast is dry pretty much throughout next week, and that could continue throughout. So if you don't like the warmth, it's going to be coming back, but definitely you're going to see the chill come Saturday morning.
All right, brace yourselves.
We will.
Thank you, Greg. A day of service.
Xcel Energy employees are giving back to a local organization through their annual community service initiative. After the break.
Elvis is taking over the La Crosse Center this weekend. Tomorrow on News 8 Now This Morning, we've got more on the Elvis Explosion Tribute Show with a few special guest Elvises. We'll see you then.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
Eric Hovde, multimillionaire California banker, named one of Orange County's most influential residents. A glamorous lifestyle, the best parties. Hovde bragged about being in the 1%, but accused Wisconsin farmers of not working hard. Now, this California banker wants to buy a Senate seat in Wisconsin. Eric Hovde, what an arrogant, phony fraud. DSCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, you can always find the best brands at the best prices. But for a limited time only, we're offering our lowest prices of the year throughout the store. Like 20-pound bags of Blaine's brand wild bird food. Rewards members get 2 for $12. Men's work and sport pocket tees, $10.99 each. Save $100 on this Rhino see-through hunting blind. And get a free $20 gift card with every $100 spent on Hill's Science Diet dog or cat food and treats. Don't miss your chance to get our lowest prices of the year. Only at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
A lot has changed since the Overhead Door Company installed its first door in 1921. One thing that hasn't? Our commitment to quality. We set the standard a century ago with the first motorized garage door, and we have not stopped innovating since. Today, you can build your dream door with the DoorView app. And with the OHD Anywhere app, you can control your new door from anywhere. So next time you need a repair or replacement for your garage door, look for the red ribbon and trust 100 years of experience Overhead Door Company.
Leave the gate open and it's chaos. Biden and Kamala opened America's gate, abandoned the Border Patrol. In came over 8 million unvetted illegals and a fentanyl crisis endangering families.
Let's go. I'm Derek Van Orden, and after spending 26 years as a Navy SEAL, I'll do anything to protect your grandchildren and mine. I know how to defend this country. So let's secure the border and save America. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Xcel Energy's Day of Service brought volunteers to Clearwater Farm in Onalaska this morning.
Employees and their families helped prep for this weekend's annual Taste of Summer event, which is Clearwater Farm's biggest fundraiser of the year. It's part of Xcel's largest annual give back, honoring 9/11 victims and first responders. The company says it's all about strengthening the communities they serve, one project at a time.
We'd like to come out and get our employees engaged with our community organizations to make sure that not only we're participating in the community, but we help the nonprofits and other organizations in our community.
So this is the company's 15th year giving back through the initiative, and around 200 Xcel employees volunteer across the state every single year.
And they even did it in the rain right there. Troopers.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you see that rooster?
I
that
did.
red rooster? He helped out too.
He did.
Okay. We'll have another look at tonight's forecast after the break.
Holman Locker and Meat Market, your place for fresh, quality, local meat. Now's the time to stock up with our fall bundle. Call and order yours today. Eat healthy, shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market, and much, much more.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Eric Hovde insulted Wisconsin seniors.
Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
What a jerk. He attacked those who are overweight.
Fine, you want to do that? Your health care is going to cost more.
How insulting is that?
He called farmers lazy.
Look at the old physical toil. Now you're largely driving around a tractor.
This guy doesn't have a clue. Eric Hovde has insulted just about everyone.
What's wrong with this guy?
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO.
Dear veteran, if you or someone you know struggles with PTSD, family relationships, financial or other hardships, let us help get you back on track. Here at Project New Hope, we offer a no-cost weekend wilderness retreat with only one mission: you. Licensed counselors are available around the clock, meals are provided, and there is no obligation to you. For more information, please visit projectnewhope.net and let us help bring you home.
T-Mobile coverage in my area is wonderful.
We have 8 acres, and it gives you peace of mind to know that you're going to have a reliable signal.
We enjoy hiking. We enjoy the outdoors. The coverage has been great.
And after investing billions to light up our network from big cities to small towns, T-Mobile is America's largest and fastest 5G network. See for yourself. Try T-Mobile's network free for 3 months. Your phone, our network, no strings.
News 8 Now and Dairyland Power Cooperative present the Community Calendar.
La Crosse County Library is celebrating the art of storytelling with a festival on Saturday, September 7th at the Onalaska Public Library. Learn about the culture, traditions, and stories of local refugees and immigrants with a panel of storytellers. Home and Family Fun Night takes place the second Tuesday each month this fall, starting September 10th. Fun for your entire family with a shared meal, games, crafts, and activities at the Holman Area Community Center.
For more information on these events, or if you'd like to submit an event, visit news8000.com.
Where's the best place for local fresh quality meat? The Holman Locker and Meat Market, of course. Purchase a minimum of 25 pounds of 90% lean ground beef, $5.69 per pound, or 85% lean for $5.49 per pound. Shop local at your Holman Locker and Meat Market, and much, much more.
All right, we're going to have a few showers off and on tonight. I think most areas will stay dry. Temperatures a little bit cooler, but yet not too bad. That north wind will continue. Those showers will continue tomorrow, too. I think a little uptick in activity towards the afternoon, but then the temperature really falls off as we go to Saturday. Definitely. The good news is, you want the 80s back? They're coming back next week.
Yeah, just a little bit of fall over the weekend, and then right back to July almost.
Right back on schedule. Yep.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 6.